You think the most terrifying prehistoric sea monsters lived in the abyss, right? Think again. There is a prehistoric arena that makes megalodons' hunting grounds look like a petting zoo, and it was so shallow you could practically stand on the bottom in a wetsuit. With a maximum depth of only 900 meters and an average of just 45, this sea was a claustrophobic meat grinder packed with a dozen species of apex predators hunting each other. We've even found fossils with undigested cousins still inside their bellies. This shallow sea split North America in two and bred a cast of monsters that didn't play by the rules. If I asked you to close your eyes and imagine the most dangerous ocean in Earth's history, you'd probably picture a megalodon prowling the dark depths or a giant Jurassic pliosaur ruling the churning waves. If that's your mental image, Hollywood and classic documentaries have lied to you. There was a legendary documentary called Sea Monsters that ranked the deadliest seas of all time. The winner? It wasn't a bottomless, pitch-black abyss. It was a warm, tropical, shallow sea from the late Cretaceous called the Western Interior Seaway. Some call it Hell's Aquarium. It sounds like a cheesy B-movie title, but for once the hype is real. Its horror didn't come from the darkness. It came from the fact that in a giant swimming pool only 45 meters deep, nature packed a roster of monsters that make today's sharks look like bait fish. But here's the question. How could a shallow sea be more dangerous than the deep ocean? Our instinct tells us that deeper is scarier, because that's where giant squids and unknown leviathans hide. The true theater of slaughter is a body of water where there is nowhere to hide. To understand this counterintuitive danger, we have to go back to the Campanian age, roughly 83 to 72 million years ago. The Western Interior Seaway literally cleaved North America in half. To the west lay Laramidia, and to the east Appalachia. For 34 million years, these two island continents stared at each other across this stretch of water. During its most insane phase, the sea was absurdly shallow for its size. Imagine a sea, shallow enough to ground a modern cargo ship, yet supporting the most densely packed lineup of apex predators in history. Shallow water meant high stakes. Sunlight hit the seafloor, primary productivity exploded, and massive schools of fish thrived. Those fish supported layers upon layers of predators. But in the deep ocean, a fish can dive 500 meters to escape a shark. In 45 meters of water, you dive until you hit sand and mud. There is no vertical escape. Every hunt was a test of raw speed and brute force. Every resident of Hell's Aquarium was forced to max out their survival stats. First, let's look at the absolute rulers, the mosasaurs. These weren't dinosaurs. They were extinct marine reptiles that looked like giant monitor lizards with four paddle-like flippers, a cross between a giant eel and an otter. The mosasaur legions occupied every niche, from the coast to the open sea. The smallest, Cladastes, was about 6 meters long, roughly the size of a large great white. But in this sea, it was just a little brother. Platycarpus was slightly larger at 7 meters and weighed a ton. Then came the giants like Tylosaurus, reaching 12 to 16 meters, the size of a humpback whale. It had 32 dagger-like recurved teeth designed to shred massive prey. We even have fossil evidence that Tylosaurus used its snout as a battering ram to stun rivals. Mosasaurus itself could reach 17 meters and weigh over 10 tons, with a bite force estimated at 4 times that of a saltwater crocodile. Emerging evidence suggests they were warm-blooded, meaning they needed a massive daily calorie intake to fuel their high metabolism, turning the predatory pressure in this shallow sea up to 11. But while mosasaurs were graceful, the next monster was a nightmare of patience. Deinosuchus, one of the largest crocodiles to ever live, reaching 12 meters in length and weighing 8.5 tons. Its bite force exceeded 100,000 newtons, 5 times the force needed to crush a car. Deinosuchus was the ultimate ambush predator of the shallows. It didn't need to chase you. It just waited in the murky water for a mosasaur or a plesiosaur to swim by. One snap and the game was over. In the shallows, patience and explosive power are just as lethal as speed. The sharks here were equally terrifying. Today's great white is a puppy compared to Crocodile, also known as the Ginsu shark. It was 8 meters long and could hit speeds of 70 kilometers per hour, faster than a modern great white. It was so aggressive that fossils show it actively hunted mosasaurs and plesiosaurs. Because it was likely warm-blooded, its high metabolism gave it the speed to be an active hunter rather than a scavenger. It was the true nightmare of the Cretaceous. Then there was the fish that could swallow a person whole, sAquarium. A 6-meter-long bony fish with a flexible jaw and a face only a mother could love. It didn't just bite, it swallowed prey whole. We know this because of the famous fish within a fish fossil, a sAquarium with a perfectly preserved 1.8-meter-long fish inside its belly. That's a predator swallowing something the size of a grown man in one go. Plesiosaurs like Elasmosaurus took a different path. They had the most exaggerated neck-to-body ratio of any reptile. This silly design was actually a silent ambush tactic. In the murky, sun-drenched shallows, they could sneak their heads into a school of fish while their massive bodies remained far away. By the time the fish noticed anything, the tiny needle-toothed head was already among them. Even the prey was monstrous. Giant cephalopods like Tusoteuthis were as big as modern giant squids. And then there was Parapuzosia, the largest ammonite ever known. Its spiral shell was 3.4 meters in diameter. If you uncurled it, the animal would be 18 meters long, the heaviest cephalopod in history. These weren't just shells for mosasaurs to crunch. They were formidable predators of the deeper channels. Let's clear up a few myths. This wasn't the age of Megalodon. It wouldn't show up for tens of millions of years. Sharks weren't the kings here. Mosasaurs were the rulers, and sharks were the challengers. None of these animals were weird by accident. Every exaggerated feature was an extreme adaptation to a high-pressure, high-competition environment. There are no unexplainable weirdos in evolution, only logic you haven't deciphered yet. Imagine the daily life in Hell's Aquarium. A 45-meter deep pool crowded with giants. Mosasaurs with 4 bites the bite of a croc, Deinosuchus crushing cars, Ginsu sharks faster than great whites, fish swallowing adult humans, and 18-meter cephalopods. Every resident was looking for a meal. And every resident was a meal. This was the Campanian Western Interior Seaway, a 24/7 meat grinder. So, how did the nightmare end? Extreme environments breed extreme adaptations, but extreme specialization brings extreme vulnerability. This massive army of predators depended on a stable, shallow sea environment. When geological shifts caused the seaway to shrink, their habitat vanished. Then, 66 million years ago, an asteroid slammed into Earth, striking very close to this region. Giant tsunamis swept through the shallows, effectively emptying Hell's Aquarium in an instant. It wasn't just the asteroid, it was a double tap of habitat loss, followed by a cataclysm. The survivors of evolution aren't always the strongest, they are the ones who can handle change. Just as the existence of blue whales proves the megalodon is gone, the dry plains of the American Midwest prove that the giants of the shallow sea have met their end. The Cretaceous nightmare is over. But the ocean's horror stories are far from finished. In a much later era, North America saw a new nightmare, a dolphin with literal spears for teeth. If you think Hell's Aquarium was crazy, wait until you see what happened to the cute dolphin. See you in the next one.